the Fitz magic too, Daniel, but let me know when the magic shows up. Moving on, Connor, it's time for our second quarter topic. Our second quarter topic, which we're going to do kind of quickly, is go through the AFC, NFC teams, and then talk about what their playoff scenarios look like. So, Connor, take us through the AFC.
Yeah, and before I do that, Daniel, in a great friend stream sports, want to acknowledge his comment. The one time that LeBron did beat, or the Magic did beat LeBron throughout the series, Daniel and I had an epic viewing of one of the games in our friend's basement, and a real friend stream sports just essence. But in terms of the AFC playoff picture, here's kind of the real quick and skinny of it. Buffalo Bills clinched AFC East Division title with the thrashing of the Patriots.
Oh, we hit the crossbar. Sorry, Connor.
Can't kick on Friend Stream Sports. Kansas City Chiefs AFC West and first round bye. And then the Pittsburgh Steelers have clinched the AFC North. Baltimore is the next easiest team to get in. They have not clinched. They need to win, or they need the Cleveland loss or an Indy loss, and then a variety of things will happen if there is a tie. So that's how Baltimore can get in. Cleveland can win or an Indy loss, or a loss with a Tennessee loss. Miami win or tie, Baltimore win or tie, and then a variety of things happen if Cleveland ties. And then the Colts have the toughest route, as they need to win with a lot of help from a lot of folks. Due to time constraints, want to skip all of the scenarios, but really Indy has the highest hill to climb. Unblocked linebackers, for those watching, can make tackles in the backfield very easily. Even on the Dolphins, Baltimore has the easiest route into the playoffs, and Cleveland controls their own destiny, which is pretty legit. So that's kind of a brief snapshot of the AFC as you're heading into this football weekend, and what to follow. So that's the AFC. Rutledge, any thoughts on the NFC?
So in the NFC, it's a little tighter done up. The Packers have clinched the North, the Saints have clinched the South, the Seahawks have the West, and the Bucs will make big sack. The Bucs will make the playoffs. The Cardinals need to win or tie in Chicago to lose. Chicago needs to win and they're in, or Arizona loses. And then the NFC East is still kind of wide open. If Dallas wins and Washington loses, they're going to take the division. Green Bay will have a first round bye if they win. The Rams will be in the playoffs if they win. And then, of course, New Orleans can take a first-round bye if they win and Green Bay loses. The big thing, though, is the East as well, is the Giants, if they win and Washington loses, they take the East. And then if Washington wins, they can also take the NFC East. So I find it amazing that the conference that is sort of struggling the most in the NFC East, they are still wide open to this day with Washington in the driver's seat. So I'm kind of rooting for Washington to take it, to see the football team take the division title with the Alex Smith, even though they've cut someone from the Ohio State University. The odds are in their favor to control their own destiny. Connor, are there any AFC playoff stories that you're paying attention to this weekend?
Absolutely. And I wish that in the AFC there was another, to quote you two, a team with no name. That'd be a fun, like Weird Al Yankovic song, right?
Right.
And the team with no name. But anyhow, yeah, AFC, I think that the biggest game to watch in the AFC is going to be Browns versus Steelers. So Browns versus Steelers, a lot on the line. And not just that, but division titles. Although the Steelers have clinched the division title, right, you still have a lot of guys that are going to want to crush the Browns and make sure that they do not make the playoffs with help. So that's kind of what I'm tracking in the AFC. If you don't mind, I did make a few notes, and I think the more interesting game is out in the NFC, if you don't mind me sharing just briefly.
For it, Connor.
I think that the most interesting game of the weekend, and Daniel, I see Packers lose, Saints lose, Seahawks 1 seed.
Let's go Hawks. We can do it.
That's a great objective comment. Very objective journalism there from Daniel J. Mogg here on Friends Stream Sports.
All caps. It's in all caps, which means it's objective.
But we are very, very. I think that the Cardinals-Rams is the most interesting game, not just because of the probability that they're going to have both quarterbacks as backup quarterbacks, but also both teams. If either team wins, they're in. So you've got a lot of games this weekend where one team might have a winner in type situation, but this is a game where both teams got to put it all out on the line.
I think it's also interesting to take that in the Cardinals-Rams situation, neither starting quarterback is starting. Kyler Murray has a questionable leg, which they want him to start, but Jared Goff has that injury, so he will not be starting. So you're having two backups, put the playoffs on their back, and see if they can make it happen. So which coaching staff do you feel like has better control to make their backup quarterback playable on Sunday, Connor?
I would say if we think about some of these we think about some of these coaching staffs, I think that the biggest advantage actually is the coaching staff of the LA Rams. Sean McVay has been there. Sean McVay has done this before. Kingsbury still got to prove himself. He might very well prove himself, but you know me, I'm kind of I'll go with the old guard until I get a reason to not go with the old guard. So that's kind of how I feel about that. What say you, Rutledge?
I'm also putting my thoughts into Sean McVay. If you look at what he's done with the Rams, Jared Goff, when he came out of college, some were in him, some were not in him, but they have taken and done a lot. Plus, the defense on the Rams, I think, will be able to really get in the face of the Arizona backup quarterback, who I don't remember his name off the top of my head. But either way, that being said, I have big faith in that game. I see the Rams taking it as they go. So we're going to pause here.
Would you